Hey Aquarius, how are you doing? Welcome to your November 2023 horoscopes. Hope you guys are doing super awesome. Let's go ahead and get started. So on November 3rd, we're going to have the sun in your Scorpio at 10th house, and he's going to make an opposition to Jupiter in your Taurus 4th house. So some of you guys are definitely going to need to move for work, especially if you have some kind of new work opportunity. I mean, career is obviously going to be a huge focus for you this month with that stellium in your 10th house. For some of you, you could be getting ready to expand your family or your home, or maybe you're trying to buy real estate. But I feel like this is something about needing to move for a bigger plan that you have going on. And you could just have a big goal to expand your family or move really, or move for work, like I said. And then on the same day, November 3rd, Venus in your Virgo 8th house is going to oppose Neptune in your Pisces 2nd house. Be careful of getting scammed, okay? Maybe you get a call, right? And somebody's like, you owe something, and you're like, what? And you get like scammed from something, or maybe somebody at a distance, Venus making connections to your ninth. Just be cautious. And then on November 4th, Saturn, your co ruler, is going to be going direct, thank God, in your 2nd house. And so some of you could be deciding to move forward with some kind of purchase that you're trying to make or that you've wanted to make. Some of you could be even drawing up boundaries if you've had somebody like maybe a family member, something like that, trying to borrow money from you. You could be kind of putting up boundaries in regards to those things. Um, Also, I feel like you're gonna realize like your self-worth and your self-value at this time. Like, I very much feel like you guys are going to appreciate yourselves a lot more, and you guys are with the connections also to your 12th house and Saturn, and with Pluto. Pluto has been going there for a hot minute anyway, and so I feel like you guys are kind of getting out of your own way when it comes to valuing yourself and putting yourself first, and you're getting there. So on the same day, Mercury in your Scorpio 10th house is going to oppose Uranus in your Taurus 4th house. So, for some of you, could be having like a big conversation about some kind of job change, which is maybe surprising you for some reason. Maybe they're like telling you, like, oh, I need you to move in a month, right? And you're like, whoa, it can be something like that. On November 6th, Venus in your Virgo 8th house is going to trine Pluto in your Capricorn at 12th house. So, I mean, to me, if you're partnered up or you're dating somebody or something like that, this could be a very sexy time. 8th house can represent sex, so can the 5th, but the 12th house can also represent like this is what you do in your bedroom, right? With Pluto there, Pluto can represent like the genitals, right? It can be something like that. So, this could also be you maybe engaging with somebody at a distance. Like I said, Venus makes connections to your ninth house. Venus also rules your fourth. So I feel like you guys are like having a good feeling, Pluto in the 12th, about like moving maybe because of somebody maybe encouraging you or somebody encouraging you to make that change. Whatever you're working on behind the scenes for work as well could definitely help out a partner's finances if you have one. This light is like flashing on its own, which is like really creeping me out. Hold on. Super creepy. Okay. And then let's see, where are we? And then Mercury on the same day, November 6th, Mercury in your Scorpio 10th house is going to make a trine to Neptune in your Pisces 2nd house. So money could be really flowing at this time because of the work that you're maybe doing. Some of you could also be doing better at your career, or your reputation is maybe changing as someone who is more of like a creative person. On November 8th, Venus is going to enter your Libra ninth house. So some of you could start traveling with someone. Okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lover, but of course it can be. Maybe it's with somebody that you live with. Maybe you're going to go see family, or maybe you are traveling. Fourth house can be about like where you've been. And so maybe you're traveling to a place that you've been before and you're really enjoying yourself. On the same day, November 8th, Mercury in your Scorpio 10th house is going to make a sextile to Pluto in your Capricorn 12th house. So there's probably a conversation around like changing something in regards to like your reputation and your status and how you're seen out in the world because of something, once again, that you've been working on behind the scenes. Even if it's like you gaining more power by getting out of your own way and not sabotaging yourself or your mental health, or maybe you're actually like physically working on something for your career behind the scenes. It could also be like something like a conversation you're having that could be really unexpected, but it seems positive. It's like an opportunity to do something. or change something. And then on November 10th, Mercury is going to enter your Sagittarius 11th house. And then Mercury is also going to, square Saturn in your Pisces second house. So keep in mind, Saturn is your co ruler. Whatever Saturn and Uranus is doing is kind of what you got going on, right? So there's been a big focus on self worth, self value, home and family, where you're living, the money that you're making, the money that you're not making. um I feel like this is going to be more conversations around like groups, networking, friends, changing your who you're surrounding yourself with. May also be on your mind. Maybe with Mercury ruling your fifth house, you may want to surround yourself with more like creative beings, because you could start seeing yourself or valuing yourself more as a creative person. With the square to Saturn, however, you could be wanting to work on something creative with a group, but maybe they're wanting you to like spend money on it, and you're like, yeah, I don't know about that. Or maybe you're not really sure if you have the money to pursue some kind of dream. um it could also be like you having imposter syndrome is another way that I could look at this, like not really being sure what you have to offer. It could also be just like your friends wanting to go out and like blow a load, blow a bunch of money and have some fun, but you may want to like prioritize yourself and like get some rest or something like that. Saturn having connections to your 12th. And then on November 11th, Mars in your Scorpio 10th house is going to oppose Uranus in your Taurus 4th house. So this could be like a boss or a superior or someone in charge. Seems to be pressuring you to change something or trying to like change, like make you move maybe sooner than you expected. I feel like some of you be careful, because you may kind of like flip your shit a little. Okay, you may kind of blow up. But I will say this can be very good for you guys to like break out of your comfort zone and like change what you're doing. On November 13th, you're going to have a new moon in your Scorpio at 10th house. Obviously, it's going to naturally, like all new moons, going to conjunct the sun. It's always also going to conjunct the co ruler, which is Mars. It's also going to make a trine to Neptune in your second house. And the other ruler is Pluto, which is going to be in your 12th house at this time. So this is like a new beginning, right? In regards to your career, maybe you're moving forward with this newfound reputation or this newfound job or this new like head position. I feel like your power is definitely coming from you getting out of your own way and honing and owning your power. I feel like this may be when that like big move starts to come into motion. Mars does have connections to your third. The new moon is making a conjunction to Mars. So this may also be like a sudden feeling like the pressure is on, but I really think that this is making you feel valued in some way with that trine to Neptune, or like maybe you feel like, oh, I have the money now, or maybe there's something that's offering you more money and you're like, I just need to do this. For others, you may be absolutely changing your relationship status as well, being that the sun has connections to your seventh house. But I feel like it's deeper than that, right? November 15th, Mercury in Sagittarius in your 10th house. Mercury in Sagittarius in your 11th house. God, I hope I haven't been saying that the entire time. Is going to sextile Venus in your Libra 9th house. An opportunity to travel or learn, possibly with another person, or because of this move or because of this learning opportunity. You may be able to focus on your bigger dreams or your bigger goals or something like that, like your higher purpose, basically. And then on November 17th, Mars and the Sun in your Scorpio 10th house is going to make a trine to Neptune in your Pisces second house. So I feel like you're loving on yourself more, prioritizing your own creativity. And I think it's like making you show up in the world differently. Like I feel like people are looking at you differently. Maybe you're calling in more, clients or something like that as well. Um, I feel like you guys are like speaking with authority at this time. You're like just kind of doing your thing. And then on November 18th, you have the Sun and Mars, which is going to be in a conjunct in Scorpio in your 10th house. So this can also absolutely be like a public argument or a public, I don't want to say like a brawl, hopefully not, but it seems like maybe it's a fight with a business partner or like maybe a fight with a client or, the sun making connections to your seventh house. It definitely can be arguments. However, the way that I can also see this is just you having a lot of determination and power in your career and how you're seen out in the world. And I feel like for some of you, you're showing up as a very powerful figure. I think that you are really showing up in the world as like a completely different person in some way, especially with Pluto about to go in your first house. On November 20th, the Sun and Mars in your Scorpio 10th house is going to make a sextile to Pluto in your Capricorn 12th house. So you may have a really good feeling at this time about work. Or you may have an opportunity to maybe, work on something behind the scenes that you can pitch to like a superior or that you can put out into the world or like launch. Then on November 22nd, the Sun is going to enter your Sagittarius 11th house and is also going to make a square to Saturn in your Pisces 2nd house. So, obviously, big spotlight on friends, goals, your audience, if you have one, networks, your aspirations and your dreams. And with that square to Saturn, this can be someone you're partnered with, or this can be a client or a friend, like maybe challenging you in some way or challenging what you're worth, or like, do you really think you deserve to get paid this much? Or I don't know. I really feel like someone's kind of testing your authority a little bit. Or this could be like you and a group of people figuring out how much you need to be getting paid or how much that you need in order to like maybe fund some kind of goal. Then on November 24th, Mars will also be entering your Sagittarius 11th house, and it's also going to make a square to Saturn in your Pisces 2nd. So, heated conversations can come on now, and they can come from friends challenging your self worth or your self value. And it can feel like it kind of comes out of nowhere, I feel. And then to end the month, we have November 27th. There's going to be a full moon, excuse me, November 27th. There's going to be a full moon in your Gemini 5th house. The ruler of this full moon is going to be Mercury, and Mercury, is going to be in its fall in Sagittarius. Mercury doesn't really like being in Sagittarius, and it's going to square Neptune in your Pisces 2nd house. I feel like a chapter is closing, right? In regards to fun, creativity, romance, dating, a younger person, maybe. Maybe you're launching, some kind of business for some of you. Maybe you're ending something with someone, or maybe you are solidifying a relationship, okay? Taking it to the next level. Um, I feel like this is more though around like goals and like the people that you're surrounded with. I do feel, however, that you may want to spend money, okay, for some of you on like children, or maybe like people are wanting you to spend money on something, but you could kind of be like ghosting it a little bit, or there could be like friends, groups, communities, or like a younger person that's like challenging your sense of self worth and self value. So I kind of am wondering if this is like, hey, remember all that time that Pluto was in your 12th house and it was making you and forcing you to like basically change your die in regards to your mental health, in regards to maybe even habits, right? And self sabotaging behaviors. Like, what have you learned? Let's apply it now. Like, what are you worth? And so I feel like a lot of this is going to be public. A lot of you guys are going to kind of be in the spotlight in some way. And there's going to be a lot of challenges anyway in regards to creativity, in regards to value, self worth, etc. Okay. So thank you so much, Aquarius. Let me know how this is playing out for you in the comment section. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe as well. And the absolute best of luck to you. Talk soon. Bye.